And it's like, smile, what's the handle gonna be? I'm the only one that does that, but you know, it's great. And then they get that like funny picture of like your nose or something, like, oh my goodness. Okay, welcome those on Facebook. Those, if you're watching the replay, welcome, welcome. Today is day 45, and we're gonna get into some wins real quick. And then today, I feel like this is a really good day of kind of some reflection and whatnot. So let's go through. If you want to raise your hand on Facebook or put any comments in on, no, raise your hand on Zoom or put anything on Facebook of any wins for the week. I got through EMP and got more than 3 hours of sleep, so we're doing good. That's my win.
Anybody have any wins they'd like to share over here on Zoom or Facebook? I know we're just getting live over here. We got a few minutes before we're getting started at 12:30, but just throwing it out there. Anybody, how's everybody doing out there? Brandy saying hi, Latrina saying hi. Jamie, how's the organization going with your new printer and everything?
It's going pretty good. It does a lot. Like if you download the app, it does like so much more and it's super easy. So I'm still working on, with the app and that. I do have a win. I have 2 potential personally sponsors that are really interested. So I'm working on
Heck yeah.
them on that.
Heck yeah.
Way to go.
Super, super awesome. I would say a little hack for some of this for you, Jamie, with where you're at and anybody else out there. I feel like there's a stigma, or for some reason in network marketing, we feel like we have to do everything by ourselves. And we have to do it all, and we can't hire anybody, and we have to do it all. So as a challenge or as a dare, figure out creatively how we can get help. Because to me, if we were going to buy a McDonald's, which costs a lot of money into a franchise and a lot of work, do you think those kids or people that run a McDonald's could run a multi-million-dollar business all by themselves? No, there's a team of them, right? And especially if you buy it, they have to hire people, right? So for you guys, I'm not saying you have to go out there and hire a full-time person if you're not there, but creatively think of a way that you could get help. So Jamie, I'm going to use your example, is when we were going through all of our inventory, because we had a lot, we went through and hired a few high school girls to come in and do all of that, to put barcodes on things, put it in Shopify, tagged everything. It was a huge process. So whether you don't have the means or not, creatively see how you can have people help you. Like maybe pay people in jewelry, right?
There's paying in jewelry. I still remember the first person we ever hired was, I still remember it. I hired this neighbor girl and I told her, I said, all I could pay you is $4 an hour just to come over and hold my twins. That's all I needed, was somebody to hold my babies. And so there's moms sitting home waiting for their kids to get home from school, that it's here, can I pay you in jewelry? Or they just want something to do, that they feel like have a purpose. And so even if it's a couple dollars an hour, or paying a teenager to come over and help you sort, whatever it is, it's getting creative. That I've done that. My daughter, okay, note to self, if you have a bunch of teenagers and there's girls and boys and there's some hormones going on in the room, do not ask them to count jewelry, because they can't count to save their life. One at a time. But other than that, like, I've done it though. I've made them separate them into piles. They can separate colors. They do really good at that.
So see what you can do. I know Kim says, I pay people in jewelry. Diva Blinks by Mildred says, it's also a tax write-off. We will do more. We will take more effort to try and save money than to go out and make money. Okay. So what is your time worth? Is it worth sorting through jewelry and shipping out packages? Or is it worth you going out and making more money by selling jewelry and getting team members and growing your business that way? So it's a little food for thought. Again, I know a lot of us, it's a big, huge step. So try and take a baby step in some sort of way in that. Getting on to here, we've got a few minutes left. Anybody else have any other wins that we'd like to go into? Latria says that she has 3 potentials. Awesome, Latria. Brandy sold four to new client with my binders and got maybe to join. Awesome, Brandy.
Way to go.
Awesome, awesome. Any other wins over here on Zoom? Karen, we haven't heard from you in a while. We would love to see your face. So I would love to hear.
Yeah, because I didn't see your face and you peek because I left.
Karen is one of the OGs. So I'm going to shout out Karen for a second. She is freaking awesome. She is one of the OGs. She was a part of our original 90-day group last year.
And it wasn't 90 days last year. It was like
it was longer than 90 days.
Months. Oh, it was long.
And
guys.
she was there through all of it. And she even came out and visited us once or twice with some GoPro virtual. So she has been crushing it. She used to be a hairdresser. She retired from hairdressing, right? Still?
Woo-hoo!
Nice.
Yes.
Karen, she's
No
been
hair
crushing it on her team.
My poor family missed me doing hair. They'll get over it though. It's okay. Thankfully, my husband doesn't have a whole lot of it. Thank you for the shout out. I'm trying to run for the Z right now. That's my goal.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Well, we're putting it out there, and we'll be praying for you because you definitely deserve it, Karen.
Oh, thank you.
You're more than welcome.
So, okay, let's get into today, and then I'll give kind of my spin on today's here in a second.
Do you want to talk about EMP first stuff? Or
that was kind of the spin that I'll throw in there.
Okay.
So those of you guys, I had some feedback from EMP about people just feeling like they're getting overwhelmed. And so I feel like today's dare, it can be something of feeling a little overwhelming, but if you do it in a different way and a different thought process, I think it's really, really good and it will help you in the long run. So we'll get through this and then I'll explain that afterwards. So while you're thinking of it, I got thoughts and a process at the end.
So remember all of this. Remember, what did we say from the very beginning? Just breathe. We know we're giving you a lot of stuff. And guess what? We're leaving our ego at the door. There's assignments that we don't get to as well because we know it's a lot. But guess what? We're still showing up every day to do this with you guys. Okay. So the dare, we're going to go off the dare first and then go into a little bit of trainings. So the dare it was a guest speaker today. The dare she gave us was to go back and watch all the replays.
So all 45 of there's
only about 20 videos.
Yep.
20-ish videos. And so something that she said is 3 things that we do in order to learn. We learn it, we do it, and then we teach it. And that's how things can help solidify into us. So if you go back and watch the replays, a little hack to get through them quicker, because all of them are around 20, 25 minutes-ish, is if you go into, Facebook now has it, that you can go in and speed it up. Some of you can speed it up a little quicker than others, but it's a way to say, hey, instead of watching this at 1 times, I'm going to watch it at 1.25. So it goes a little bit quicker and you can get through it quicker. Or 1.5 times. Or if you're baller status, you can listen to it 2 times. Or if you're super baller status and you're on Audible, you can listen to it 3.5 times. There's some people, I'm not joking, I listen to some of the stuff on 3.5 times. So it can be done. It sounds like gibberish, but it can be done. Okay. But it's a huge hack that I factored into my life that I can get through and listen to things way faster. Okay. So that's the dare, is to go back and watch replays. And another hack is to go through the 20 and say, hey, if I don't have time for all 20, I'm at least going to get to 50% of them. And here's the ones I want to replay. So try and find your own hacks and like shortcuts. Try and find little shortcuts in your life.
And then what the reason behind this is you are rewatching, by every time you rewatch these things, and then it's like you're going to pick up different things. Exactly. So as you pick up those different things, you are just creating this what is it? File system in your brain, or if you have it on pen and paper, or you have it's just, you have different notebooks. And so she categorized it into different sections, which that's what I love. And so she put this more into like an onboarding thing with new team members, but this is where I'll spin it at the end to help you out, where it helps you out now, but having team members now or team members in the future, this is something that will be very beneficial. And I went kicking and screaming through the 90-day last year, and I said I'd never do it again because it was a lot. And I created, what's it called? I created a DMO. I created a system. So now I do a lot of these assignments just naturally because I created it as a habit. And so that's the point, is after 90 days, a lot of these things will be habit and you'll just do it, just not thinking. It's like, oh, this is easy. This is easy. Okay, if I throw on one more thing, this is easy. And so then when people ask you questions, you can give them advice because you've done it.
Or another hack, like we talked about at the very beginning of this call, is when you have help, guess what? Your help can help you with this. So all the content that we produce with my mom and sister, we have a content creator that does all that for us. So that's part of our finding DMO. Every single day, we don't even have to think about it. So who is your help that it's going out and helping and contacting and finding people and helping them to connect with people on your social media? Do you think all these big business people like Tony Robbins and Grant Cardone and Oprah manage all their social media by themselves? Absolutely not. They don't. They absolutely don't. We all need help. We can't do this all by ourselves. So figure out how you can get help if you can do it, right?
And you just start out small and then you grow. Because like I said, I started out, what I needed the most was someone just to hold my twins. And then it grew into finding somebody that I could have with them. And that was just part-time. And then I had somebody full-time and it just evolved. And so it's okay.
Yep. So something, I don't know if Brittany can go into this, but as you're learning things, something that she said that I've never done that I love this idea is, as you're learning content, whether it's at convention or EMP or some of these replays or like live, right? Is she categorizes things into 3 main categories. And it's like this library that Brittany was saying. She says, like, if you're learning something, I either categorize it as like a mindset thing that I want to learn, that this is more based on mindset, or is it skill based, or is it leadership based? So then you have this library of all these 3 main different categories. So I can pull it back. So if someone asks me about leadership, I have a whole bank and a library about leadership, and I can give leadership tactics to people. About skills, about mindset. Okay, what mindset is hugely important in everything that we do? Is this a mindset? Something about mindset or identity or belief to help me progress to the next level, like personal development.
So go back to that. So again, she said it was leadership. So as you're going back and watching these things, write these tips down. So what I said to people at EMP, this is where I'm going to jump in, is people said, oh, this is a lot. This was overwhelming. Or it's just like, we've said that this is a fire hose being shot at you. And what I told everybody is, okay, every idea you've got, write it down. Just write it all down, get it out of your brain, and then work on one and figure out a system and do it for 5 minutes and feel good and confident about that, and then move to the next one. Same thing, as you're going back and watching these videos, write down those tips and tricks, but put them into categories. Is that under leadership that you loved that if you want to go teach somebody on, if somebody asks you to speak or to teach, or is it about algorithm? Is it about somebody feels down, you're talking to another paparazzi sister. Okay, you tell them to do the dance. There's all these things that are just little things that it's like, oh, I know this. And it's just going to come to your mind by you writing it down and you're categorizing into those different things.
Yeah. And you can even just brain dump and just say, hey, like, to be super honest, I can't get to all this stuff because there's so many. I want to, but at least I have a bank, and I'm just going to brain dump all these different ideas I want to do eventually on social media, or like with leadership stuff or mindset, personal development things. So at least it's out of your brain, because a lot of times we kind of go crazy sometimes and we feel overwhelmed because we have so many things in our brain, and our brain keeps replaying in our mind because it doesn't want us to forget it. Okay. So by listing it all out, it's kind of giving your brain permission to be like, hey, I've written it down. You don't have to keep reminding me. It's okay. I've got it written down.
What do you say about to-do list?
Tell me.
So Robbie always tells me that I'm like, I've got this to do. I've got this to do, this to do. And he goes, Brittany, you're never going to get to everything on your to-do list. It's okay. It's okay. Pick the most important and get those done so you feel like you've accomplished something today. And the other ones, if they're not as important, they can be at the bottom. But then it's not, I did this halfway, this halfway, this halfway, and then you just feel frustrated. If you can get 1 or 2 things that it's like, oh my gosh, I got this and this and this done.
Yep.
And on the same thing that Robbie said, so I've got a special folder that I have recruiting ideas, that I have selling ideas. Same things with all different things on this. I have different ideas that it's like, okay, I would love to get back and figure out a better system that I could do this at a bigger level. But I have it in my ideas folder that, okay, I have taken it out of my brain so I don't keep thinking about it. And it's right here. I know exactly where it's at. So when I'm sitting there and it's like, I don't know what to do, I need to really hit it hard, I can go here and say, oh, I want to do this, this, and this.
Yep. And a little hack, another little hack. I love hacks. I'm into hacks right now and kind of shortcuts in life. A little hack to like removing overwhelm in your life. I've learned this from Mel Robbins. I love her, the 5-second rule book. If you've ever read that, she's got some awesome content out there. But something she says is the overwhelm list. Basically what you do, I'm seeing Alicia, we're connecting right now. I'm seeing her, she's looking in the camera. So an idea is, if we're feeling overwhelmed, is this idea like, okay, I have so much going on. You take 10 minutes away and all you're going to do is get into a quiet spot and literally write out everything and anything you have to do that's on your mind. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I got to just brain dump it. Whether it's personal stuff, family stuff, business stuff, friend stuff, community stuff, church stuff, everything and anything, just dump it on the sheet. Then take a breath, go back through the sheet and be like, okay, what is the priorities? What do I got to focus on right now? Because a lot of that stuff is going to be small stuff that you can maybe push off for a week, or maybe be like, hey, this doesn't align with my goals. I don't need to do it anymore. I'm not going to do it. Okay. So, okay, here's the priorities. I feel like I can at least take a breath now and get back at it. Because sometimes we need that 10 to 15 minutes to sharpen the saw. If you've ever read 7 Habits, that's habit 7. I promise you, to sharpen the saw, it's going to go make your life and your day go a lot quicker, rather than using a rusty old saw to kind of try and cut down the tree or all the other tasks in your life. But by you sharpening your saw, you coming back at it and having a better state and a better mindset, you'll be able to tackle things way better. And you're not just fighting all these emotions and things that's going on inside your life. Okay. Because 2 things that we talk about here in our business is everything is figure outable. Everything's figure outable. And I do not do overwhelm. I do not do overwhelm. So if I start to feel overwhelmed, I'm going to pull back, chill out for a second, write down my list, and go back at it again. Okay.
So with that is, when you're going through stuff, Robbie said it was the looking at stuff, is it mindset, skill-based, or leadership? And then there's 3 other sections that you can jump it into. Okay.
Are you going into this?
Yeah, the phases.
I might cater this to us. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So she basically talked about this idea of different phases of how she onboards and gets people going. And we'll go through that. Maybe I'll let Brittany go through all that, but then I'm going to kind of go through afterwards and see how we can apply it to paparazzi. So if you want to go through this. Here's some ideas of different phases of where people are at with a new team member.
So she said phase 1 was launching. Oh, you have yours. Launching, onboarding, coaching, and training. She said those 4 things. So again, as you're going through these different videos, you can plug those in there, that it's like, okay, is this something that would help with launching? Well, launching, we talked about it was week 1, and it was for day 5, celebrate. So when you're talking to somebody, you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. But if you want to celebrate no matter what, if it's a good win, if it's a bad win, and you do that dance. And so it's all these different things. It's like, where am I going to put these in that it's going to help you in regards to, if it's launching a new team member, if it's launching you and your business, or if it's helping out a fellow paparazzi consultant. So it's something there that as you're going through these, this is going to help you. Okay.
Yeah, and to me, like phase 1 is kind of like a newbie in paparazzi. What do I have to launch them on the right foot, to get them onboarded and make sure they know the tools and skills and things? How do I coach them in the right way? And then the training, like possible future training. Okay. That's the first phase of getting people going. And then the second phase is getting into more social media. So it's like, okay, this is all about social media, this 90-day. How can I get them involved with the main platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok? Okay. Mm-hmm. And then the last one they kind of said was like, what are hacks and personal development things to get them going and make sure they don't get overwhelmed? Like the overwhelmed but brain dump list. Hey, at the beginning, it might feel like I'm pushing you off in the deep end and you don't know how to swim. But guess what? Here's how to handle it. Here's an overwhelmed
And what
list.
happens is, a lot of times when people, I've seen this with team members, I've seen this with myself, you get overwhelmed. What do? It's either fight or flight. And a lot of the times it's just like, I'm done. I'm throwing my hands up in the air. I'm done. I can't watch the 90 days anymore. I can't do this anymore because I have too much jewelry to go through. I can't go live, or I have this going on. I can't do this. where you guys, I'm going to turn myself in. I did that today and I did it yesterday. Me and Robbie just had a conversation and I just said, I'm overwhelmed right now. And I just had to take a deep breath after being gone for 2 weeks and I needed to be with my family. And so it's okay. But now it's like, hey, I put it all down there. This is what's going on. This is what I need to do. This is what I need to attack. And now it's okay. But I'm not worried about, oh my gosh, I didn't do this. I didn't do this. I didn't do this. I didn't do this. I'm going to brain dump it all down. And I put it all down there and I'm like, okay, what is the most important? What do I need help with? What can I do myself? What can I ask my daughter or my kids to help out with? What can I have a spouse or significant other help out with? I feel like me being a mom that I have to do it all myself. And that is something that I am getting told over and over again, that you can't take on one more thing. You need to let some stuff off your plate. And that is very hard for me. I am very much a control freak. But you guys, the one thing I couldn't let go forever was setting up my boards or setting up my lives. The minute I let that go, the stress has just been amazing. It's just little things like that. It's like, here.
What are the baby steps that we can do?
So I can have my daughter set up all sets and set up the jewelry.
Or find help. That's what we do. We have help. We have help. Find someone that can help you out. Okay.
And some of those little things, it's like, oh, that takes 10 minutes and it's going to take longer for me to teach them how to do it. No, you guys, I promise, if you let people help you out, it's going to take a hot second to have to teach them, but getting rid of that extra thing, it's going to help you.
It takes courage to step away and not let you have to do it all the time. Okay. So I'm going to go through the phase 3 and then kind of summarize real quick, kind of applying this into paparazzi. She basically said algorithm things of like how to boost actions, how to post different things, story actions, scripting actions, and then more positivity and personal development. How I see this is kind of the broken down of what paparazzi does for us to focus on like at a high level of what we do with our people is one is getting started, onboarding. How do we get someone started in onboarding the right way? Next one is finding. How do we help people know how to find? Whether that's on social media, whether that's in person, whether that's online, how do we do that? Next one is teaching people how to sell and then teaching people how to recruit and build a team. Those to me is the very fundamentals and very, very basic things of what we do in paparazzi. So we can take a breath and we don't feel like there's 20, 100 things that we got to think about that paparazzi does. It's like, no, everything boils down to those main things. And once they get started, it's really those 3 things. How do I find more people, customers, and recruits? How do I learn how to sell? And then how do I recruit and basically build a team and build leaders and grow, right?
And you guys have the trainings here. If you go through them, it's going into groups. And they don't have to do all those things. It's just, here's one thing. This works for me and my personality going into this group. So I'm going to just do that. Or some others, they're going to go in and just message all their friends, or they're going to go into groups and just find the people with the green lights around them. Those are just different tactics. Find something that works the best for you and then move to the next one. And it's just teaching those things.
Take baby steps. What's great about the situation is you guys are here, right? So we're going to end in the last few minutes for any questions. We're going to be watching Facebook over here. Any people over here on Zoom that have any questions, raise your hand, whether it's about anything and everything. We can talk about anything, what's going on. Okay. So anybody over here on Facebook that wants to say anything? Lynette said she had a little live, doing my 3rd live tonight. I sold 36 pieces. Awesome, Lynette. Over here on Zoom, how are you guys doing? Demaida, Juanita, Alicia, Sheila, how are you guys doing? Yeah, thumbs up. Alicia, how are you doing?
Alicia had 3 people it was 3 last month, right?
Alicia crushed it last month.
Yes, I was determined to get on this call. I'm doing
Alicia's
good.
rocking it.
EMP.
Awesome.
I enjoyed it.
How are you doing? How can we help you out, Alicia, today? Doing okay?
Yeah, I'm okay today.
Yeah.
Looking for jewelry, trying to find jewelry.
Well, when I get off this, I think when we're all on here, we'll say a prayer for Alicia, for her mind to be open. I mean, I do that all the time. Say a little prayer real quick, be like, where's this jewelry at? Where's this jewelry at? So we'll be praying for you, Alicia. We love you.
Any others? Questions?
Excited about her growth. 2 live interviews yesterday for Opportunity Lives. Awesome, Kimberly Lawson. I love that. Sheila said my personal page got more visibility on it 56 straight days. Awesome, Sheila. Karen.
Brittany, give us your best Z run tips.
Best what tips?
Z run.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so you guys, I followed this super close last year, and I tried, even though elites can't run for it, I was trying to keep up with Suze and Roxanne, and then I was doing the 90-day. I would probably say that the more conversations that you make, that they're just going to evolve. And that's what I've been noticing. And even I will say that I learned a thing or two from, like, you're always learning. And so Carla, Crystal Nemeth, and Michelle Egan, anywhere we were going, it was so funny. It was like a who could do it first. So they had blessing bags anywhere that every plane, they were giving them out to all of the stewardess. We were up and getting our tickets, and they were handing them out there. We were getting in the hotel. They were handing out jewelry everywhere we got. And I was like, hello, I'm missing out here. And so I was going into EMP, and I'm passing it out to all the security guards. So it's something that everybody needs something in their life. It's just finding out. And I think Jeff said it at EMP perfectly. He said, it's just asking that question. What's keeping you busy? Because it's something, and it's like, we've had the scripts here, and I feel like we know, but we kind of get in this, we feel like, oh, we get down on ourselves. And so I think one, it is with recruiting, but two, it's building. It's not just recruiting, but having your team grow. And so this is going to help you in your business. So how are those team members going to be set on the right foot? So I think by you talking to people constantly, I think talking to new team members, being present, being there, I think that's going to go a long ways, and you're going to be doing a lot of lives.
Can I add something in here as well, Karen?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a dare, because we love dares, right? I'm going to give you a little dare to go back to the people that have won it and reach out to them and say, hey, Suze, hey, person, I have a bold request for you. I love you. Compliment them, right? I think you crushed it with you hitting the rock runway, and I aspire to be like you. What did you do? What were your tips and tricks? Learn from the people that have hit it. What did they do? And go through as many people as you can and come up with a game plan, and then figure out, you only have so much time in the day, right, Karen? So how can we duplicate your time or automate it a little bit so you can reach out and do more of that stuff that they suggest for you? Okay.
So I want to say, Sue, she said that she was doing a Q&A every single week. And I think a big thing that they said was they were just hit at the line, and they started asking people for help. Everybody wants to help, but they would just say, will you just sign up and help me? And then those people, they signed up, and then they're like, oh, we had somebody that signed up, and she's like, I just want to just buy the product. Well, now she signed up 3 people last month. In the first month she signed up 3 people, and she just wanted to buy the jewelry. Yeah. And so you never know that, and that's like, I would say probably 90% of the elite, and I could be off, but at Elite Summit, they said that same thing. They're like, we just signed up for the discount. Yeah. And so I think by asking people to help you, yep, you're going to have this tribe.
Yep. Learn from the people that have been successful and done it, right?
But I think that's anyone on here. If you don't ask your customers to support you, you don't ask your friends and family, then, and I hear people, well, I don't want to say this on my page because I don't want to bug my friends and family. Well, if they're going to give you crap about it, then are they truly your friends and family? Are they truly supporting you? If they're going to unfollow you, who cares? Who cares?
And last one, as Sheila said, Suze did a training in the Training with the Rock Stars. Awesome place to go check it out. Last one, and we'll get off. I would say the biggest thing with anything that you guys got to do is your mindset and belief. Believe that you can do it. Believe it. I've talked about Ted Lasso a few times. I literally just made my own believe poster that I'm going to put it up somewhere. My wife's not going to like it, but every single time I leave the house, I'm going to like slap my thing on my believe poster, and I'm going to believe that what I'm going towards with my goals and my vision board is I'm heading towards it. So believe, remember, belief factor is huge. Believe that you can do it. Okay. We love you guys. Sorry, we got to get off. There's new releases here pretty soon. We love you. Super excited. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow.
You guys are awesome. Love you.
See ya.